The signs are all around us, brothers and sisters. There's not much time left to get your soul in order before the end of all things. Do you believe in the testimony of the Son of God? Good. But no, even the devils believe and fear. The question is, do you love him? And do you follow his commandments as he has required? Let's listen in to one of his prophecies of the time we live in right now. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. When the leaves come out, you see for yourself and know that summer is almost here. So, in the same way, when you see these things happen, all the signs he warned us of, know that the kingdom of Elohim is almost here. Truly I say to you, this generation shall not die till everything is fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Be on guard, lest at any time your hearts be weighed down with gluttony and drunkenness and cares of this life, that day doesn't come on you suddenly like a trap. For as a trap shall it come on all of them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch therefore, and pray always, that you are accounted worthy to escape all these things that are going to happen, and to stand before the Son of Man. Evaluate your life, even this moment. Would you be ready if he were to come back this week? Be honest. Are you living for him or for yourself? Are you walking righteously or living in sin? Do you know what sin even is? Will you be accounted worthy of escaping the fire, the hail, the devastations that are soon to come? Prophecy tells us that billions will be destroyed at his coming. This prophecy also tells us something that you should know about. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating pork, and the abomination, and the mouse, shall be consumed together, says Yahweh. Truly, a life-changing passage, and one offered to stir up some thought within you. This prophecy has yet to be fulfilled, which reveals that he, Messiah, will destroy those who eat these foods at his second coming. Most of his people aren't even aware that pork, shellfish, and many other commonly eaten foods around the world are unlawful according to the Bible. If he will be consuming or destroying people who eat these foods when he returns, why would any of us ever touch it again? The topic of pork and other unclean foods is a perfect example of how mainstream Christianity has left the true faith and teachings of Messiah. There has been a complete mishandling of a few passages from Paul or even Peter's vision in Acts 10. We encourage you to reinvestigate the scriptures, letting the Holy Spirit guide you and not man. See the video description for a playlist on why biblical eating is something Messiah observed himself, taught his disciples, and is for us today. Even more so, it's imperative to remember and be warned that Messiah prophesied most will not make it into the kingdom, even those who call themselves Christians. Do not let this be you. Not everyone that calls me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of my Father which is in heaven. Most will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, and in your name have cast out devils, and in your name have done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you that work iniquity. Don't let anyone fool you. Messiah is speaking directly to most Christians today. Satanists, atheists, agnostics, pagans, and others don't call him Lord. Neither do they perform good works in his name or cast out demons in his name. No, only a believer or Christian do these things who have been led astray for far too long. The time of ignorance is over, brothers and sisters. Messiah will be turning away at the door those who have no regard for his commandments, known as the Torah, or commonly known as the law. Again, Messiah Yahusha, who the world calls Jesus, says he will declare to most people who call him Lord, "I never knew you. Depart from me, you worker of lawlessness." Wouldn't you want to make sure you end up on the right side of this dividing line when he gets here? And in this way, we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that says, "I know him," and keeps not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoever keeps his word, in him truly is the love of Elohim perfected. And this is how we know that we are in him. He that says he lives in him must himself also walk, even as he walked, obediently to the Torah. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which you have had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which you have heard from the beginning. Brothers and sisters, this information today is slashing through the greatest deception of our time. Make no mistakes about it. It truly is that simple, just like the Garden of Eden. Yahweh gave a commandment, and Satan came in to influence to break the commandment. The same has been happening today. While many have faith, billions, it will be obedience to his laws that will separate the true from the false. Many are called, but few are chosen. Let's remind ourselves of the good news. The blood of Yahusha shed on the cross for us does in fact cleanse us from all sin. Praise Yah. The lie, however, has been maintained that we don't have to keep the Old Testament law known as the Torah. Backing up just a moment, let's first establish what sin even is. 1 John 3:4. Whoever commits sin transgresses also the Torah, the law. For sin is transgression of the Torah. After making a man whole, Messiah then instructed this: "See, you have been made well. Stop sinning, or else something worse may happen to you." Even Paul the Apostle makes this concluding statement after explaining the faith in Messiah. Do we then make void the law through faith? Elohim forbid. Yea, we uphold the law. Listen, we have all fallen short of the standard set forth in the Torah. Nevertheless, Messiah came to be the perfect example for men to follow into righteousness and away from sin. Little children, let no man deceive you. He that does righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. And it shall be our righteousness, if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahweh, our Elohim, as he has commanded us. Unfortunately, the early church did not heed the warnings by the Apostle Peter regarding some of the passages written by Paul that could be easily misinterpreted. 2 Peter 3 begins with the warning of the coming day of destruction, which many believe is just around the corner, so these words could in fact be warnings for us in this day. Therefore, beloved, since you are waiting for these, the end times, be diligent to be found by him without spot or blemish and at peace, and count the patience of our Master as salvation, just as our beloved brother Paul also wrote to you according to the wisdom given him, as he does in all his letters when he speaks in them of these matters. There are some things in them that are hard to understand, which the ignorant and unstable twist to their own destruction, as they do other scriptures. You therefore, beloved, knowing this ahead of time, take care that you are not carried away with the error of lawless people and lose your own stability. If lawlessness is disobeying the law, and Satan is called the lawless one, why is anyone shocked the law is vital to the great contest of good versus evil? In Romans 13, Paul equates commandment keeping as part of the definition of fulfilling or carrying out love in one's life. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loves another has fulfilled the law. For this, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not kill, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, you shall not covet, and if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love works no wrong to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. To put it even more simple terms, we show that we love somebody, whether it be our Heavenly Father or people, by keeping the commandments. The commandments tells us how to love. In fact, the Apostle John has the same interpretation. This is how we know that we love the children of Elohim, when we love Elohim and keep his commandments. For this is the love of Elohim, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. Brothers and sisters, it is the commandments of Yahweh, the Torah, that instructs us how to love his way. Let me ask you a question. What can you possibly give to the one who created everything and needs absolutely nothing? Love, which is displayed by our obedience. Messiah asked for it himself. If you love me, keep my commandments. Remember, he didn't come to change or do away with the Torah, the law. He said so himself. Do not think that I have come to destroy the Torah or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Even though he specifically said, don't think this is what I came to teach, most do. This should be an indicator to the soul within you that something is wrong with traditional Christian theology. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass, which we know hasn't happened yet, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the Torah, or the law, till all be fulfilled. He that knows my commandments and does them, he it is that loves me. And he that loves me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and will manifest myself to him. There's so much more to cover, brothers and sisters. This barely even touches the surface. However, there will be links in the description box for further guidance for those truly seeking to escape the snares and sins of Babylon. Come out of her, my people, lest ye be partakers of her sins and die in her plagues. Escape the pagan and worldly holidays that have been given a Christian facelift. Instead, keep the feasts of Yahweh, which all celebrate and point to Messiah. Passover, Pentecost, Sukkot. Keep those instead of Christmas, Easter, and other pagan traditions. Look into the true day of worship and rest, the seventh day of the week, and not the first day, Sunday, as Rome instituted by Emperor Constantine. Loving Elohim and your neighbor, according to the precepts found in the Torah, is how we can truly do what is pleasing in his sight and ultimately be prepared for the end of time. To learn more about walking in the light as he did and loving according to the Torah, please see this playlist. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon you and give you shalom. Peace. Awake, O sleeper, knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now our salvation is nearer than we believed. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on